Rebel Yell podcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. We are here to salute our WPIAL Baseball Player of the Week, and we do so in part with the help of our good friends at Edgar Snyder and Associates. They've been helping local people in southwestern Pennsylvania since 1982. So a big tip of the cap to our friends at Edgar Snyder and Associates. They'll be sponsoring us through the upcoming WPIAL baseball and softball playoffs. Baseball Player of the Week, a familiar name, especially if you are a high school football fan, Nico DeRazio, the senior sensation from Upper St. Clair High School, the U.
Yes, sir.
Kind enough to join us. Nico, we appreciate it. Congrats on all your success.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So your athletic director and basketball coach, the one and only Danny Holzer. So he finally delivers, this. Whoops, there it is.
There you go. 3P.
Okay. So, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Danny.
Mm-hmm.
So I bring it home, and my wife, who is a Bethel Park girl, sorry.
Ooh.
I know, well, you got to question my taste.
Yeah.
But anyway, she looks at it and she says, "Well, what school is this?" And I said, "It's Upper St. Clair." She's looking at it. She goes,
"The red."
Well, no, she said, "It just has a U." And I said, "Yeah, they kind of took that years ago from." I didn't want to get into explaining University of Miami and all that stuff, but they're known as the U, and she thought that was the most ridiculous. She's not into sports, but that she thought was ridiculous.
Yeah.
You guys when you guys, meaning the athletes at Upper St. Clair, the U, you like that?
Yeah, I don't remember it being that big of a thing. You see anytime we lose a game, everyone takes pictures putting the U down. It's like, it's whatever. So I don't remember it ever being like a big thing putting up the U, but it's just kind of like a joke kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, it serves its purpose. I think when people see the U, they think of Upper. They're not thinking of Uniontown or Union. They're thinking of Upper St. Clair. And boy, what a big week for you guys! It has been a kind of a crazy season for the Fighting Panthers. We'll talk about this past week and the success you guys had. The season began for you guys with a trip to Florida, some success down there. But I asked this of all the student athletes that we talked to that are fortunate enough to make these trips, because not every school does. How many trips have you gone on for the baseball team?
They started last year, so we went to Florida last year and then this year. Yeah.
What do they mean? Now you're a senior, you're a leader, you're a team leader. What do these trips, outside of getting to play in some decent weather, you hope, in the month of March, what do these trips mean for you as far as the team?
Yeah, team bonding is the biggest thing for me. You got a bunch of guys all hanging out together, whether we're in a hotel room or we got to go to the beach all the time. So there's guys going down to the beach, hang out in rooms, and it's just communicating with one another. You get to know everyone more than just on the baseball side. So definitely team bonding for me. It was the biggest one.
Nice. Was there anything when you guys, maybe not so much on the beach, but when you guys were in the hotel room, were there any rituals games that you guys would be playing?
No, but we like to prank call each other with the hotel phones. So we got a few good ones on that. We got some videos of that, so those will be memories that we remember.
Well, I don't want to get you in trouble. But can you give us for example of what would you'd call a teammate?
Yeah.
You call their cell phone?
No, we were calling the hotel rooms.
Oh, okay.
Through their phones.
And would you pretend you were management or something?
Yeah, and we'd be like, "Noise complaint, we're coming up to check on you." You get a knock on the door, and everyone's like, "Oh." Just good times.
Yeah, that is good times.
Yeah.
And it's harmless fun.
Yeah.
You're not trashing
No
hotel
one's in
rooms.
trouble. Yeah.
That's right. There you go. I mean, whose idea was that? That's pretty good. I like that.
I think it was Max Dietrich. So
All right.
he was in a different floor, called our room and scared us.
So you were a victim first.
Well, he told me about it. He told me and Nolan Wilson about it. We were in the room together, and Jamie Gardner was the one that got pranked, I should say.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys have a lot of fun, obviously,
Yeah.
and on the Florida trip, a successful trip as well. I think
Mhm.
you guys were 3-0.
Yeah.
From what Coach was telling me.
Yeah.
You come back north. What's the mindset of this team coming into this senior year? It's it's a program that's had its ups and downs, even in your tenure there. But are you guys thinking section championship? It's a very difficult section. What were
Yeah.
the goals coming into this season?
I mean, the first one for me would definitely be the section championship. So every Monday and Tuesday, you got to go out and get those wins. And then the second one would be the WPIAL championship. Coach Shinati, even in winter workouts, is preaching it every day. We go out to Green Tree, go out in a turf field and an indoor facility and get working. And he would preach that every single thing has to be about winning the WPIAL championship.
Was it your freshman year that they made it to the finals?
I was in 8th grade that year when they made it to the finals.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, lost to rival Mount Lebanon in the championship game.
Yeah.
2022. So you guys come in adversity kind of early on. Your supposed ace, Nolan Wilson, injured elbow. Fortunately, did not need surgery, but he's been pretty much sidelined. Won't be throwing at all for you guys, but he is able to DH, which is good. That his whole season wasn't sidetracked. But what was your take and what was the team's take upon that news?
I mean, it was definitely tough. He was going to be our number one guy, and we were pretty sure every game we could go out there and have him for at least 5 innings. I'd say at least 5 innings. But, I mean, it's got to be next man up. So, Max Dietrich, who's a senior, who's led us, he's leading us now pitching. And then Ethan Kaprobis and Grayson have stepped up in those section games. So, next man up for mentality for us.
Yeah. So it thins the ranks. But, like Mike Tomlin always said, one person's ill will or ill fate is somebody else's as an opportunity for somebody else. And it sounds like other guys have stepped up.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys, you don't need dominant pitching with the way you guys hit the ball. Is that something that you knew going into this season? Not only yourself out of the leadoff spot, but really up and down the lineup. You guys have really been raking all season long.
Yeah, well, the past couple of years, I feel like it's been opposite, more better pitching, and we've struggled hitting, and it's been more the guys in the top of the order that have been hitting the past couple of years. But you can see this year, I mean, we struggled a little bit at first, but we moved around guys in the lineup to find their spots, and everyone's contributing well. Whether it's literally 1 through 9, everyone's contributing.
Yeah, no doubt. I've seen you guys a couple times and have been impressed with. Even when you're not getting hits, good contact is being made. Does that go back to that off season, those trips to Green Tree, you think?
Yeah, and just our time spent in our facility in the high school, just hitting off machines, hitting off coaches' live pitching, and even seeing like our own live arms in those cages. So just going back to that and all the work we've put in.
Nico D'Orazio is our WPIAL Baseball Player of the Week, senior from Upper St. Clair, quite a football player as well. Section 2, 5A, I mentioned really all 4 sections in 5A. That's what makes the 5A playoffs so fun yet so difficult. All 5 are very competitive, up and down. Yours probably more so, really, when you're talking about up and down than anyone else. You start against rival Bethel Park, and you lose 2 heartbreakers, 8-6, 7-6, games that could have gone either way. A tough start, but you guys were able to bounce back. Your next section series you limit Trinity to 1 run in 2 games and outscore them 15-1 to sweep them.
Yeah.
Just talk about the Bethel series, how tough it was, and yet the resiliency of your team to be able to bounce back.
Yeah, those both Bethel games were definitely tough. I mean, being up, I think we were up 6-3 and 6-2 in both of those games and losing. One was a walk-off. I mean, one just kind of slipped away from us towards the end. But yeah, those are two tough losses. But like Coach Natty preached this week, you're going to keep throwing punches, you're going to curl up. And we threw a punch back going back to Trinity. You know, that our team wanted it that week, and we needed to get those two. So those are big wins for us, and especially in the pitching side, only letting up 1 run.
Yeah, and then the same kind of sequence over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You guys are sitting there at 2-2, going into a big series against South Fayette. They come to your place and have a huge first inning. You guys battle, but a 7-0 hole, tough to dig out of. They win 17-6. But again, you guys answer the bell the next day at their place. Tough game, but you fall short 7-6. So again, reason to hang heads, to be down. You're sitting there at 2-4, and yet you come into this past week against Peters Township in need of a sweep, and you get it with a couple of victories over the Indians. Just talk a little bit about rebounding from that one-sided loss at home for game 2 at South Fayette and losing that one, and yet still, again, showing some mental toughness.
Yeah, I mean, it's baseball. So one day you're gonna get killed, and we did. Pitching was off. We didn't play great in the field. Bats were all right, but once you're down 7-0 the first inning, it's hard to get back. But our team is just so resilient. Like I said, Coach Natty said yesterday, every single kid wanted it this week. So I mean, going into that second Lafayette game, we are like, we need this one. It's gonna be tough, but I mean, it was a tough loss, another 1-run game, but the resilience into the next week against Peters is what really helped us out.
Yeah, the way you guys have swung the bats, I told Coach Donati after the first game, the victory over Peters Township, the way you guys swing the bats, you got to feel pretty confident no matter who you're facing, who's number one, who's ace, because you're going to get runs. We talked about pitching and how that stepped up after you lost Nolan. Obviously, the offense has been there. And you sort of mentioned the defense, some errors, but uncharacteristic. You guys have been pretty good defensively through most of the year, would you not say?
Yeah, I would say so. We really preach defenses off season, like in those Green Tree workouts. But it's shown on the field definitely this year. Our infield's very good. And like I said in that last Peters game, you saw our outfield cutting off balls everywhere so they wouldn't get that extra base. And it's also tough at our home field, Mayview, to play under those lights, and they do a great job tracking fly balls there. So credit to them.
Is that something that is an advantage? Because Coach Donati said that there's a true home field advantage, not only the lights, because if you don't play under lights, they do at Joe Mays Field. But if you don't play under the lights, that's obviously an advantage for you guys having kind of been used to it. But also the dimensions. You know, it's a wider field, especially when you compare it to Peterswood. But also the fact that you have all that room in foul territory for the infielders, yet very little room in foul territory for the outfielders.
Yeah.
It's an outstanding place. It's a unique place. Do you like playing on it, and do you like playing on that natural surface? How good is the infield?
Yeah, I mean, they fixed it this year, so they cut down the grass, like it's like that tall. It's so nice. And they fixed the infield. Some days it gets really choppy and the dirt is really hard and it's hard to play in the infield, but once that field's watered, it's the most beautiful field I've ever played on.
Yeah, it's magnificent. Something the community should be proud of. And by evidence, you know, the WPIAL come playoff time, there are always playoff games there. So they look at it as one of the jewels of the district, not just the South Hills. All right, let's talk about you know, your week, your season. We talked a lot about the team thus far. Pretty consistent you have been, and I think this week really emphasized that. First game against Peters Township, you had You were 3 for 4, a walk, 3 runs scored, 2 RBI. That's the definitive stat line for a leadoff hitter. Any coach that sees what I just said, they're screaming, "That's a leadoff hitter. Get on base, get on base." Do you like hitting leadoff? Do you like being the straw that stirs the drink, or do you think you'd be, if you had your druthers, better served in the middle of the order somewhere?
No, I definitely like leading off. I've been doing it since 10U maybe, and I've just stayed
Uh,
with it throughout. Yeah, so it's been a while. But like Coach Natty says, and all the coaches preach to me, you're the spark. So if I get on, everyone else is moving around with me and they're getting hits, contributing each way. And it just once I get going, everyone else gets going with me.
yeah, 3 for 4. All you needed after your base hit in the sixth inning was a homer for the cycle. The base
Yeah.
hit, double, triple. I mentioned the walk. Won't mention the strikeout. And then on Tuesday, 2 for 3 with another double. Seeing the ball pretty good right now?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely seeing it well right
Yeah.
now.
How have you, from an offensive standpoint, how do you think your season has gone?
Pretty good. Batting about 440 right now, so really well. Like I said, it's that leadoff spot. So I like attacking first pitch a lot. So um I like I'm just doing well right now, I feel, and I'm seeing
Yeah.
everything well.
And you're happy with your game defensively this season?
Yeah, I mean a few pretty clean in the field other than throwing. Gotta credit my first baseman, Evan Smirnu, picking me up a lot. But a few throwing mistakes that I'd like to fix up on, and I've been working on in practice. So
I'm very familiar with just about everybody on the St. Clair coaching staff.
yeah.
Through all the years of doing this, I've crossed paths with most of those guys, including
Mhm.
a head coach, Jeff Donati. It's a fun bunch.
Yeah.
You guys seem to have a lot of fun with them.
Yeah, definitely. Like that Florida trip, we were always messing around with them down at a campfire, just cracking jokes and everything. And even on the field, like during practices, it's always fun talking to them. And they're also just great baseball coaches who want to help us as individuals and as men and as players on the field as well.
So you have 2 more section series remaining.
Yeah.
Big one coming up. Moon Tigers right now, all of a sudden, Moon is in first place in the section, playing some really good ball. They only have 2
Yeah.
losses. They're coming off a sweep of Bethel Park, so you know they're legit. You got them, and then you close out with Chartiers Valley. Still a lot could happen. You guys are in a position now. Playoffs are looking pretty good. If you take care of business, a section title is not out of the question. But at the same time, if you stumble a couple more times, you could find yourself on the outside looking in. Just what do you think about where you guys are right now?
Yeah, I feel really good about us right now. Coach and I was talking about this yesterday. We don't have to worry about where we are right now. Don't worry about anyone else's scores. And there's one thing I forgot, but yeah.
Yeah, just take care of business, right?
Yeah, take one game at a time. That's what I want to
Yeah.
say. Just gotta take one game at a time. Don't like I said, don't remember about anyone else's scores or anything.
Yeah.
Just
Don't
one
look
game at a
ahead
time.
to what's coming up. Don't
Yeah,
don't don't worry about, what's going on elsewhere. You can do that once the game is over.
yeah,
Um, we had an interesting conversation
yeah,
in the post game of the first game. We did the Upper St. Clair victory over Peters Township, and Coach Donati shared a story with me before the game about how you showed up, and it was bitterly cold this past Monday, to the point where some games were postponed. We got there in the press box at Boyce Mayview, and trust me, that's the only reason I was still there.
yeah,
And we were setting up our equipment and looked outside, and you could see little flakes. No, it wasn't flurries or anything, but a few flakes fell because most of the time the sun was shining. He tells me that you got there, and just as a sign that these elements mean nothing to me, he said batting practice. You corrected me and said it was a lap around the field without a shirt when
Yep.
it's wind chill of 30 degrees.
That's right. I did do that. I was in the dugout before, got there like about pretty early, and there was a few of my teammates, and one of them was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take my shirt off," and we were just in the dugout kind of messing around. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it too." So took my shirt off. They were telling me to take a lap. I took my lap and my slide before everyone else got there. And then, like I said, they're all looking at me like I was crazy, but I was like, it's a mindset.
So the teammate that first brought up the idea, did he ever take his shirt off?
Yeah, it was Luke Marchinsky. So we were just in the dugout, just standing there, and he took his shirt off maybe for 45 seconds and then put
Yeah,
it back
come on,
on.
man. What's that? That's nothing.
It's nothing.
You did a whole lap around the field. So
Yeah.
what did you tell me?
Cold is a mindset.
Cold is a mindset.
Yep.
So now my question to you, you're going to play at an Ivy League school, so you're a brilliant young man. If cold is a mindset, is heat a mindset? In other words, let's say that Upper St. Clair makes the WPL playoffs, goes deep into the state playoffs, and second week of June, you guys have a quarterfinal or a semifinal game, and it's 85 degrees, thick, humid, just unbearable. It's like slaps you in the face as soon as you walk out of your house. That kind of thick heat. Is that mental? Would you put a parka on and then go to the ball field then?
I would say so. It's mindset. This year we played one home game, and I was wearing sleeves, and everyone's like, "What are you doing? You're gonna sweat." I was like, "Just gotta stay warm." So I think it's a mindset, even if it's warm or cold.
God bless you, young man. God bless you. Well, if nothing else, you're loosening the boys up, keeping them loose.
Yeah.
And they were ready to go, and they responded with a couple big victories over Peters Township. I mentioned Ivy League, Brown University. We hear about the Yales and the Harvards and the Columbias. We don't get too many district players headed to Brown University. You'll be playing football there. You're an outstanding football player. Just talk a little bit about that. The decision on going there, which is impressive. Congratulations. But also, was it tough as far as options, football and baseball?
Yeah, first with that baseball and football. I mean, football recruiting is much easier, I think, these days. They recruit more guys, about 20 a class, while baseball is maybe 5. And baseball recruiting was going really slow for me. And football picked up about last year around this time. So I kind of made my decision like then. And I was like, I mean, I know I'm a good baseball player, but it's going to be hard. And so then I just kind of picked up with football. And then during the summer, I went to a Brown football camp. And I was mostly being recruited for defense from each of these other schools that I had an offer from. But I went up to Brown and I got to play receiver at the camp, and they really loved me. So they recruited me as a receiver.
Good.
And that's kind of the decision that I made. I wanted to play offense, so I'm excited.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's look at the numbers. This past year, your senior year, 37 receptions, nearly 700 yards. That's an average of almost 19 yards per catch. You were one of the team leaders, third in the team in touchdowns, or second in the team, I should say, behind Dante with 11. Yeah, outstanding football player. You mentioned it's going to be tough, but once you're done with school and if you're done with your pursuing whatever athletic dreams you have, you can always play, those adult league baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I have a son that's 28 and he's still playing that. So
yeah, Coach Donati always signs us up in the Daily News League.
Yes.
For around Pittsburgh. So we always play in the summer, and there's like playing against 30-year-olds. So it's high schoolers versus 30-year-olds, but still playing.
Yeah, I had a chance for 5 years or so to coach in that league, and it was It was a lot of fun.
Hmm.
Guys who it wasn't goofy, but
Yeah.
older guys who still want to play, along with, as you mentioned, the high school kids trying to stay sharp or be sharp for playing some college baseball down the road.
Yeah.
So, when did you start playing baseball? When did you start playing football? How old?
So I started baseball like 14 years ago, so probably like 4 years old. And then I always played flag football growing up, but then I didn't start playing tackle until seventh grade. That's
Good.
when I started. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably smart.
Yeah.
Um, you're as you're nearing the end of your high school days,
Yeah.
is there a memory athletically that stands out that you'll always remember from a good sense, from a good side, and one that you will always be, sticking in your back like bitter with great bitterness?
So it's probably junior year of football. It was our first section game and against Peters at home, and there was thousands of people there. I mean, it
Yes.
was packed. And that was just like a great memory that I'll always remember. We won the game 21-7. But then later on in the playoffs, we played them again at Bethel. A bunch of people there again, and it was fourth and forever. And I got a ball thrown up to me. I had it in my hands, went down to the ground, and it just fell out.
Uh,
That's one that I'll definitely remember. That's not a good one that will stick
yeah,
with me.
back to back losses to Peters Township in the football in the WPIAL semifinals. That close, the first
Yeah.
your junior year. This past fall wasn't Peters was pretty dominant,
Yeah.
but that game you're talking about, one score game, this
Mhm.
close to being able to play at Acrisure, that
Yeah.
kind of stinks.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It was definitely tough.
All right. So for all the folks that know you outside of your family, by the way, how many siblings do you have?
I have two. I have a twin sister and a younger brother who's a freshman.
Are either one of those two athletically inclined?
My younger brother Dominic, he plays basketball, and then my twin sister Gianna, she's like a dancer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So what's that relationship? We hear stories about twins,
Mhm.
usually of the same sex, but the boy and the girl. Are you guys like really, really super close, or
Yeah,
not so much?
I'd say we're pretty close. We have some similar classes, so we always talk to each other at the end of the day, doing homework at night, just talk about our days and everything.
So she
So
has
yeah.
your back, you have her back.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you're
For
not
sure.
throwing each other under the
No,
bus.
not at
Okay.
all.
All right, that's good.
Yeah.
And your brother's going to be a pretty good hooper.
Yeah, he's probably taller than me right now, so hopefully he'll be playing varsity soon.
All right. So outside of your family, which knows you best,
Yeah.
is there something that not a lot of folks know about Nico D'Orazio that you would like to share with us? Whether it's a hidden hobby or something that that a lot of people don't know about
Yeah.
that you're willing to share with the nation.
So, yeah. So I use this on my senior night thing for baseball. I wrote that I'm ambidextrous. So I write with my left hand, but I do most things right hand. I throw right hand, I hit right-handed. But I have a funny story. So on senior night, I said that I'm ambidextrous when they announced my name and all that stuff. So I play first three at bats, I go up right-handed. I got hit twice, and I was like, I'm not getting hit again on the right side. So I go up on the left side, and I've done this before. I've tried to switch hit before, and my swing's pretty smooth from the left side. And I got into like 3-2 count. I hit a double. It was a two RBI double, and I was just like, I guess I'm ambidextrous both ways.
But you don't, outside of getting beaned twice, you don't ever choose to go up there left-handed.
No, I mean I've done it before. I did it one time before. I did it in Florida this year against
Yeah.
a team down there. We were killing them, and I went up lefty and just swung.
Well, you got coming up. You got the big series with Moon, and I
Yeah.
think you still have a game scheduled with Obama Academy. this week. So first time up,
Yeah, maybe.
left-handed.
Coach and I, they won't care. Like you said, all those coaches, bunch of
Yeah.
fun guys. They
Yeah.
don't care at all.
It's a non-section game.
Yeah.
Why not?
Uh-huh.
Get
Well,
everyone's attention.
yeah, the Trib was at that game, so I went on and watched it to see if they'd notice, and they had no clue that I was up lefty.
Well, that's pretty much par for the course for our guys. But as I throw my team under the bus. All right, so there you have it. I'm not saying I'm going to be there, but if I am, then I'm going to hold you to it.
I'll make sure.
All right. Nico, again, joy chatting with you. Best of luck. Some big games coming up in a section that is wide open, Section 2 of Class 5A. Best of luck these last couple of weeks and hopefully into the postseason. And also best wishes to you as you head to Brown come the fall.
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me.
Nico Dorazio, Senior, Upper St. Clair, our WPIAL Baseball Player of the Week. We thank him. We thank Chris Lackner, our producer, and our friends at Edgar Snyder and Associates for sponsoring the Rebel Yell podcast on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.